So we'll try and understand how factorials work. 6 factorial is equal to 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Then 7 factorial, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Right. So we can also write 7 factorial as 7 into 6 factorial. Correct? Because 6 factorial is what? 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So this 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 can be written as 6 factorial. Okay. Now 7 factorial can also be expressed as 7 into 6 into 5 factorial. 7 into 6 into 5 factorial. Okay. Yeah. So the next concept which I would like to share over here is, see, once again I'll write this for you. 7 factorial is 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Or 7 factorial can also be written as 7 into 6 factorial. Okay. Right. So n factorial, the first term of 7 factorial, the first term of 7 factorial is 7. So the first term of n factorial will be, anyone? The first term of n factorial will be n. Now the second term of 7 factorial is 6. Second term of 7 factorial is 6. So how does 6 come? 6 comes as 7 minus 1. So the second term of n factorial is n minus 1. Okay. The third term of 7 factorial is 5. How do we get this 5? We get this 5 as 7 minus 2. Okay. So the third term of n factorial will be n minus 2. Right? If n is 7. Okay. The fourth term is 4. How do we get this 4? We get this 4 by 7 minus 3. Okay. So the fourth term of n factorial will be n minus 4 dot 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 into 1. Correct? I hope you all understood this. Now n factorial. Once again, the first term of n factorial is n. The first term of n factorial is n. Okay. Now see, refer this. 7 factorial is equal to 7 into 6 factorial. So n factorial can also be expressed as n into n minus 1 factorial. So we can stop anywhere, but then in a proper order. Now 7 factorial can also be written as 7 into 6 into 7 into 6 into 5 factorial. Okay. So n factorial can also be written as n, n minus 1, n minus 2 factorial. So we can stop at any point of time. Okay. That depends upon the problem and the solution required for the problem. Okay. And one more thing that you need to remember is 0 factorial is 1, 1 factorial is 1. Fine. Okay. Please let me know if you have understood this particular concept, because this is very much essential for, you know, exercise 12B okay, of your textbook. So let us go to exercise 12B, question number 3. Okay. Now, first of all, NPR is equal to n factorial upon n minus r factorial. We are all aware of this. So 5P2, 5 factorial upon 5 minus 2 factorial, which is equal to 5 factorial upon 3 factorial. Now, what is 3 factorial? 3 into 2 into 1. 5 factorial is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I can write 5 factorial as 5 into 4 into 3 factorial. As I said previously, we can stop at any point of time. So I'm making 5 stop at 3. So this 3 factorial gets cancelled, and this will be 20. Okay. Now this answer is 20, but then you can also always use a calculator for simple calculations and get the answer. So this thing can be 5p2. This thing can be plugged in your calculator. Fine, but then you should always know how to solve it. Yeah. So exercise 12b, first and second problems, you can manage it on your own. Let us go to the third problem. Okay. They have given, we are supposed to find out n such that np2 is equal to 30. So npr is equal to n factorial upon n minus r factorial. So here n is n, so n factorial, r is 2, n minus 2 factorial, which is equal to 30, right? Now, if at all you all know the way in which I have taught you earlier, compare this n factorial with n minus 2 factorial. We have to find out which is the bigger term. Okay, so certainly n is the bigger term, because if we take the value of n as 10, okay, so this will be 10 and this will be 8, 10 minus 2, which is 8. So 10 will be the bigger term. Always assume certain value for n and then only proceed. Don't make a blind decision, which is a bigger one. So we have to reduce the bigger value to the smaller value. Now let us come back to this particular concept. The first value of n factorial is n. Okay. So n factorial first value is n. Can someone tell me, if we are supposed to reduce n to n minus 2, what is the previous term of n? If you can respond over the chat box, it will be good for me. And I would come to know that you people are understanding. Correct. N minus 1. Perfect. Okay. That's good. Should I stop over here? Should I put an exclamatory mark and stop over here? Okay. So we can't do that because we have to go up to n minus 2. So this is n minus 2 factorial upon n minus 2 factorial, which is equal to 30. N minus 2 and n minus 2 will get cancelled. So now we are left with n and n minus 1 on the left hand side. This thing is there on the left hand side, right? Now on the right hand side, we have 30. Now try and understand. These are two consecutive terms. N minus, these are two consecutive terms. These are two consecutive terms, right? Now if n is equal to 10, n minus 1 will be 9. Hence I am saying that these two are consecutive terms. So there are two consecutive terms on the left hand side. N is the greater term. Okay. Just keep observing that. In the right hand side, we are having 30. So we have to break down 30 into two parts, because there are two consecutive terms on the left hand side. So there should be two consecutive terms on the right hand side. Okay. So I'll just write this as 6 into 5. Two consecutive terms on the left hand side, two consecutive terms on the right hand side. Okay. One question to all of you. Can I write this 30 as 15 into 2? Is that okay? Yes or no? Please help me with that. No, the reason being 15 and 2 are not consecutive. 15 and 2 are not consecutive. Okay. So now, once we are done with this, we'll comment by comparing. By comparing bigger number equal to bigger number. So n is equal to 6. Don't compare bigger number with the smaller number, but then compare the bigger number with the bigger number. Okay. So just give me a feedback whether you have understood this or not. Okay. So let us go to the next problem, that is question number 4, right? Let us go to question number 4. NP4 is 2. The meaning of is 2 is nothing but division. N minus 3, n minus 1 P3 is equal to 9 divided by 1. So this is NPR formula, n factorial upon n minus 4 factorial divided by n minus 1 factorial n upon n minus r. So n minus r, n minus r. So n minus 1 minus 3 factorial. Look at the brackets in which I'm presenting this. Okay, the presentation should be quite up to the mark. So this is n factorial and this is n minus 4 factorial divided by n minus 1 factorial upon the value of this bracket. Obviously, this is basic algebra. So this is n minus 4 factorial, which is equal to 9. Okay, fine. So this division in the next step will become multiplication, right? So what I will do is n factorial upon n minus 4 factorial into n minus 4 factorial upon n minus 1 factorial. Division became multiplication. Will reciprocate these terms. N minus 1 factorial is equal to 9. Some cancellations. Now out of n and n minus 1, the bigger term is obviously n, because if we assume the value of n as 10, n minus 1 will be 9. So reduce n to n minus 1. So the first term of n factorial is n, the previous term is n minus 1. Okay, but then I stopped at this particular point because I got my n minus 1. So this is equal to 9. Once again, some cancellations, and then n is equal to 9. N equal to 9. Fine. That's how it is. That was question number 4. I'll go to question number 5. I'll go to question number 5. Okay. 2n p n plus 1 divided by 2n minus 2p n is equal to 56 divided by 3. 56 divided by 3. Okay. So this is n and this is r. 2n factorial upon 2n minus n plus 1 factorial n factorial upon n minus r factorial. Now this bracket is very much important because there is a minus sign over here. Okay, so don't miss out on any brackets. Divided by 2n minus 2 factorial upon 2n minus 2 minus n, the whole factorial, is equal to 56 upon 3, right? Okay, some simplification. 2n factorial upon the value of this bracket will be n minus 1. 2n minus n is n, minus into plus is minus, 2n minus n is n, n minus 1 factorial divided by 2n minus 2 factorial on 2n minus n is n, and this is minus 2, n minus 2 factorial, which is 56 divided by 3. Okay, right? So in the next step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this division and replace it with multiplication, reciprocate it. If you have copied this, then maybe I can go to the next slide. So 2n the whole factorial upon n minus 1 factorial into n minus 2 factorial upon 2n minus 2 factorial, which is equal to 56 divided by 3. Okay. Now I'll compare 2n with 2n minus 2. So this terms I'll put it together. Okay. I'm grouping these terms, and n minus 2 factorial will be grouped with n minus 1 factorial, which is equal to 56 by 3. Now out of 2n and 2n minus 2, the bigger term is 2n, right? Because if we assume n as 10, okay, so 2n will be 20 and this will be 18. So 20 obviously is bigger. The first term of n factorial, the first term of n factorial is n. Okay, so the first term of 2n will be 2n. The first term of 2n factorial will be 2n. I'll reduce it up to 2n minus 2. So 2n minus 1, 2n minus 2 factorial upon 2n minus 2 factorial. This and this is getting cancelled into. Can someone tell me what is the bigger term out of n minus 2 and n minus 1? Which is the bigger term? If you take n as 10, so this will be 9 and this will be 8. So n minus 1 is the bigger term. So we have to reduce n minus 1 to n minus 2. Okay, so we are supposed to reduce n minus 1. So n minus 2 will remain as it is. The first term of n factorial is n. So what is the first term of n minus 1 factorial? Anyone? It's n minus 1. Correct. Just getting some replies which are absolutely correct. The previous term, n minus 1 minus 1. Should I stop over here? Should I stop over here? Okay, so should I stop? That's my question. Yes, we are supposed to stop over here because we got our n minus 2. Minus 1 is minus 2. Okay, I hope everybody is understanding this. So 2n into 2n minus 1. I'll go to the next slide. 2n into 2n minus 1. Okay, into n minus 2 factorial upon n minus 1 and n minus 2 factorial. N minus 1 and n minus 2 factorial. Okay, so this n minus 2 factorial, n minus 2 factorial, it's cancelled. Okay, so now we are left with n to n minus 1 upon n minus 1, 56 by 3 into 2. Now this 2 This 2 will get cross multiplied over here on the right hand side. Okay. So this will be 28 by 3. 28 by 3. Okay. Now here we can actually use comparison method. Okay. This comparison method is predominantly used in permutation combinations itself. But then in basic algebra, you can just solve this, create a quadratic equation and solve further. Where you can also get some negative values. But then in permutation combinations, negative values are not allowed because n are the number of objects. Okay. Now compare this. See, n minus 1 and 3. If n minus 1 is equal to 3, n gives you 4. Okay. And if n is 4, if you substitute that 4 in the numerator, check whether you're getting 28 or not. Are you getting 28 if n is equal to 4? Yes or no? Hello. Are you checking? So if n is equal to 4, if n is equal to 4, so 4 into 4 into 8 minus 1. So this is equal to 28. 4 into 8 minus 1, that is equal to 28. Okay, so that means n is equal to 4. But then how do we get 4 in the first place? So let me repeat that. Okay, so I compared n minus 1 to 3. When I equated n minus 1 to 3, I got n as 4. Okay, now that 4 should satisfy the numerator as well. Okay, so when you put 4 over here and here, check whether you're getting 28 or not. So I think you are very well getting 28. So therefore n is equal to 4. Feedback, please. Feedback for this problem. Okay, guys. So let us go to the next problem. Okay, those who want to copy this can just you know go ahead and copy. I'll just wait for you. Should I proceed then? You want to take a look at the previous page before this? Okay, so this was the page number 1 for the question number 5. Please check whatever you have missed. Okay, page number 1, page number 2, and page number 3. Okay, so let us go to the next problem. Yeah, we'll proceed with question number 6. Okay, so question number 6. 2n plus 1 p n minus 1 is division. 2n minus 1 p n is equal to 3 is to 5 is equal to 3 is to 5. Fine. So 2n plus 1 factorial upon n minus 1 factorial divided by 2n minus 1 factorial. Okay, one second, sorry. So this will be n minus r. So this is n and this is r. So excuse me for that. 2n plus 1 minus n minus 1 factorial. Okay, upon 2n minus 1 minus n factorial. I have applied NPR formula for both the permutations. Okay, so let's simplify this. 2n plus 1 factorial, 2n minus n becomes n, and this 1 plus this 1. See, this minus and minus will become plus. So n plus 2 factorial. Eventually it becomes n plus 1, n plus 2 factorial. Okay, division 2n minus 1 factorial. 2n minus n is n. Okay, 2n minus n is n, and this minus 1 factorial, which is equal to 3 by 5, which is equal to 3 by 5. Okay, now division becomes multiplication. Okay, division becomes multiplication, and these two terms will be reciprocated. So I'll just go to the next slide if you guys are okay with it. So 2n plus 1 factorial upon n plus 2 factorial division becomes multiplication. N minus 1 factorial upon 2n minus 1 factorial equal to 3 by 5. Okay, now which terms to group together? See, there is 2n and 2n over here. So let's, club these two terms. 2n plus 1 factorial upon 2n minus 1 factorial into n minus 1 factorial and n plus 2 factorial, which is equal to 3 by 5. Now out of 2n plus 1 and 2n minus 1, obviously 2n plus 1 is the bigger term, because if you assume any random value of n, 2n plus 1 will give you a greater value than 2n minus 1. So we have to reduce this value to this value. Reduce 2n minus 1 to 2, 2n plus 1 to 2n minus 1. Can someone tell me what is the first term of 2n plus 1? What is the first term of 2n plus 1? Is it the same? Yes, it's the same, 2n plus 1. Okay, the previous term, 2n plus 1 minus 1. Should I stop over here? Should I stop over here? The answer is no, because we require 2n minus 1. Here this one and this one will get cancelled. So we'll be left with only 2n. We require 2n minus 1. Okay. Then 2n plus 1 minus 2. So I'll stop over here basically. Upon 2n minus 1 factorial, right? Correct. So this is 2n minus 1 factorial. Now, out of these two terms, which term is bigger? Anyone? N plus 2, correct. Good, Ashvi, you're replying on all the questions, and that too, all are correct. So n plus 2, that is the bigger term. Okay, so we have to reduce n plus 2 to n minus 1. Okay, so n minus 1, we are not supposed to do anything with this, but then we are just supposed to reduce n plus 2. Anyone, what is the first term of n plus 2 factorial? What is the first term? N plus 2, correct. So n plus 2 is the first term of n plus 2 factorial. What is the previous term? N plus 2 minus 1. Now my question to all of you is, should I stop over here? Should I stop over here? The answer is no, because plus 2 minus 1 is plus 1, but then we require minus 1. We require minus 1, and this is plus 1. Okay, so we cannot ideally stop over here. We have to take it further. Okay, so this will be n plus 2 minus 2, then n plus 2 minus 3 factorial. Now look at this term. What is the overall value of this term? The green colored term. Does it give me n minus 1? Does it give me n minus 1? Yes or no? Hello. I would appreciate if you revert. Yeah. So this is n minus 1, correct? So hence I have stopped at n plus 2 minus 3. Okay. Now I'll simplify all the terms for better understanding. So this is 2n plus 1. So 2n plus 1 into 2n. This is 2n. Okay. 1 and 1 is gone. And this is 2n minus 1 upon 2n minus 1 factorial, and there is also n minus 1 factorial over here. So this term and this term is getting cancelled. Okay. Then n plus 2, n plus 1, and n minus 1. N plus 2, n plus 1, n minus 1. Equal to 3 by 5. Okay. Right. 2n plus 1, 2n. Okay. N plus 2, n plus 1, and n. Correct. So this is n, and n will get cancelled. Okay. Right. So now see, what maximum we can do is we can send this 2 down over here. Okay. But then it is difficult for us to predict that way what should be the value of n, right? So let's see that how to take this further. Yeah. So I hope everybody has copied till this point of time. So I'll just rewrite whatever I have given you earlier. 2n plus 1 upon n plus 2 n plus 1 is equal to 3 by 10. Right? Now see, if you compare 2n plus 1 to 3, if you compare 2n plus 1 to 3, what is the value of n? Anyone? What is the value of n? If you compare 2n plus 1 to 3, what is the value of n? Please solve and tell me. I'm waiting for your reply. So let me, yeah, correct, correct. So I'm getting some answers and those are right answers. So that is equal to 1. If 2n plus 1 is equal to 3, naturally 2n is equal to 2 and n is equal to 1. Now if we put this n over here, 1 over here, are we getting 10? Are we getting 10? Just tell me yes or no. The denominator should also get satisfied, right? Are we getting n? Are we getting this value 10? Yes or no? No, because 1 plus 2 into 1 plus 1. So that is 3 into 2, which is equal to 6. 6 is not 10. That means this entire assumption thing fails. N cannot be 1. Okay. So it's not random. We have to check from all possible scenarios. So here, what we are supposed to do is we are supposed to cross multiply and we are supposed to simplify this further. So 2n plus 1 upon n square plus 3n plus 2, 3 by 10. Cross multiply, you'll be getting a quadratic equation. Okay. Solve that quadratic equation, discard the negative value and get the value of n. Okay. So this will be ideally 20n plus 10 is equal to 3n square plus 9n plus 6. I've cross multiplied. Okay. So this can be further written as 3n square 9n minus 20n. So that is minus 11n. This thing you know, right? And 6 minus 10, that is minus 4 equal to 0. Okay. You solve this. It's a quadratic equation. Now this is pretty simple. Okay. You have done this in your earlier grades, so I won't help you. You solve this. If you get some negative value, just discard it for this chapter because n is the number of objects, right? So that was your question number 6. Just give me a feedback whether you have understood this or not. Just give me a feedback on this, please. Have you understood this problem? Okay. So I'll take you to the next problem. Question number 7. 2np3 divided by 100 into, that's multiplication, okay? 100 into np2, okay? I'm sorry, it's not division, it's equal to sign in between. So npr formula 2n factorial upon 2n minus 3 factorial, 100 into n factorial into n minus 2 factorial, right? Okay. So I'll reduce this 2n to 2n minus 3. So the first term of 2n is 2n. The previous term is 2n minus 1. I'll go up to 2n minus 3 factorial upon 2n minus 3 factorial. Cancellation, cancellation. 100. N will be reduced to n minus 2 because n is the bigger term. N, n minus 1, n minus 2 factorial upon n minus 2 factorial. Some terms will get cancelled. Okay. Now I'll take these two terms. On the left hand side, I'll cross multiply it on the left hand side. So I'll just keep this slide as it is. If you're not able to understand, just put a message. I will resolve it for you. Okay. So 2n minus 1, 2n minus 2. So see guys, there is no need of bracket for this 2n. So I'll just write 2n without any bracket. 2n minus 1, obviously I'll put a bracket. 2n minus 2. 2n minus 2, I'll take 2 common from this green colored bracket, okay? So I'll just write 2n, 2n minus 1, take 2 common, n minus 1, okay? So I'm taking this 2 common, so it will be n minus 1 upon n into n minus 1. As I said, I am cross multiplying the yellow colored term. N into n minus 1 is equal to 100. N, n, n minus 1, n minus 1, okay? So this 2 into this 2 will be 4. So 100 upon 4, that 4 will be cross multiplied down beneath 100. So solve this and tell me the value of n. Come on, guys. Please solve this and tell me the value of n. Correct. So the value of n is 13. Good. Some students are mentioning 12. So, okay, just make the necessary corrections. Okay, so this problem was pretty simple. Let us go to the next problem. That is question number 10. That is question number 10. Okay. Sorry, question number 8. P n comma 6. Just rewrite this, sorry. Equal to 3 P n comma 5. Okay. NP6, 3, NP5. So meaning of this is NP6 and meaning of this is NP5. Okay, fine. NP6, n factorial upon n minus 6 factorial. 3 into n factorial upon n minus 5 factorial. Right? In the next step, I am going to cross multiply these terms which are marked in yellow, okay, on the left hand side. How do I come to know that we are supposed to cross multiply is because n factorial and n factorial will get cancelled. So that's how our decision making process should be. So n factorial upon n factorial upon n minus 6 factorial into n minus 5 factorial upon n factorial is equal to 3. Okay, so n factorial is getting cancelled. What is the greater term out of n minus 6 and n minus 5? Which is the bigger term? Can someone tell me? Don't tell me randomly. Apply some logic. Okay, so n minus 5 is the bigger term. Okay, if you are assuming some value of n as 10 or something else, n minus 5 will obviously be the bigger term. Reduce n minus 5 to n minus 6. N minus 5 factorial, the first term is n minus 5. Reduce it by 1. Should I stop? Should I stop? Yes or no? The answer is yes. Okay, n minus 6 factorial is equal to 3. The reason for stopping is because n minus 5 minus 1 will give me n minus 6. Okay, so this will give me eventually n minus 5, n minus 6 factorial upon n minus 6 factorial is equal to 3. N minus 6 will get cancelled. N will be equal to 8 from this equation. 3 plus 5, that will be equal to 8. Okay, okay, just wait. So some students are asking me some doubts. So that is absolutely correct. But then, um, you know, this method can land you in certain trouble. Fine. So I would request you to, follow the things which I am teaching you right now. Okay. It's a correct method, but then don't do that. Fine. Yes, yes, yes. Because I'm teaching methods where you can, not go wrong anytime, any point of time. Yeah. So let us go to the next problem. That is question number 9. Okay. So 2p n comma 3 equal to p n plus 1 comma 3. Fine. So 2 into n p3 is equal to n plus 1 p3. So 2 into n factorial upon n minus 3 factorial equal to n plus 1 factorial upon n plus 1 minus 3 factorial. Okay. So NPR formula I've applied over here, right? Okay. Now let us simplify this further. 2 into n factorial, and this 2 and this n factorial are separate, they are not together. 2 into n factorial upon n minus 3 factorial equal to n plus 1 factorial upon n minus 2 factorial. Okay, multiple ways to solve this. Okay, now if you notice, n factorial and n plus 1, n and n plus 1, these are consecutive terms. N minus 3 and n minus 2 are consecutive terms. Agreed or not agreed? Or do you disagree with me? Okay, so n and n plus 1 are consecutive, n minus 3, n minus 2 are consecutive. Fine. So I'll group those terms which are consecutive. It's not a compulsion, but then you do it. I've shifted this term over here and this term over here. Okay, I'm grouping the consecutive terms. Now 2 into which term is bigger out of n and n plus 1? Obviously, n plus 1 is the bigger term. I'll reduce it up to n factorial. So first term of n plus 1 factorial is n plus 1. The previous term is n plus 1 minus 1. So I'll stop over here because I got this n over here. Okay, right? Equal to n minus 3, n minus 2. Which is the bigger term? N minus 2 is the bigger term, obviously. So re, uh, reduce n minus 2 to n minus 3. So n minus 3 factorial will remain as it is. So this is n minus 2, n minus 2 minus 1 factorial. So this is 2 into n factorial upon n plus 1 into n factorial. Okay, this is n minus 3 factorial, and this also is n minus 3 factorial, right? So n minus 3 factorial upon n minus 2 into n minus 3 factorial. So if you observe, there are some cancellations over here. So we are left with 2 upon n plus 1, 1 upon n minus 2, cross multiply 2n minus 4 equal to n plus 1. Okay, so therefore n is equal to 5. If we solve this further, we'll get the value of n as 5. Okay, let us solve one problem of the similar category, that is question number 10. Question number 10. Okay. 5 into P 4 comma R is equal to 6 into P 5 comma R minus 1. So this is 5 into 4 PR, 6 into 5 PR minus 1. 5 PR minus 1. Okay. So 5 into 4 factorial upon 4 minus R factorial. 6 into 5 factorial upon 5 minus R minus 1 factorial. Now see, this bracket is very much important because there is a minus sign outside. N minus R. Okay. So brackets certainly play a very important role. Okay. So guys, what is 5 into 4 factorial? Think logically and tell me. What is the meaning of 5 into 4 factorial? Anyone? Correct. 5 into 4 factorial is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, which in turn is 5 factorial. Okay. 5 into 4 factorial is nothing but 5 factorial. So I'll just write 5 factorial upon 4 minus R factorial equal to, now 6 into 5 factorial is also naturally 6 factorial, but then I'll not do that. I'll just keep it 6 into 5 factorial. The reason being, I can cancel out 5 factorial on both the sides. Okay. And then down in the denominator, 5 plus 1. This will be plus 1. This minus minus is plus. So this is 6 minus R factorial. 6 minus R factorial. Okay. So this I'll send over here. 6 minus R factorial upon 4 minus R factorial equal to 6. Equal to 6. Okay. Now which is the greater term out of 6 minus R and 4 minus R? Can you tell me which is the greater term? Now don't take R as 10. Take R as a very small value, lesser than 4. Let's take R as 1. So if R is equal to 1, okay, so this will be 5 and this will be 3. So 5 is greater than 3. So 6 minus R is greater than 4 minus R. So reduce the greater value to the smaller value. 6 minus R factorial. The first term will be 6 minus R. 6 minus R minus 1 factorial. Minus 1. 6 minus R minus 2 factorial. Okay. I'm stopping at 6 minus R minus 2. Can you tell me why? I'm putting a stopper over here. Why? Because I got my 4 minus R. Correct. Perfect. I got my 4 minus R. So this equal to 6. So the next step, 6 minus R, 5 minus R, 4 minus R factorial. 6 minus R, 5 minus R, 4 minus R factorial upon 4 minus R factorial is equal to 6. Okay. Cancellation, cancellation. Are these two terms consecutive? 6 minus r and 5 minus r. Are these two terms consecutive? Yes, these two terms are consecutive. One after the other, take the value of r as 1. So 6 minus r will be 5 and 5 minus r will be 4, 5 and 4. So we have to break down this 6 which is on the right hand side into two consecutive terms. Okay. So that naturally is 3 and 2. Okay. You cannot write 6 and 1 because 6 and 1 are not consecutive. Okay. So the greater term over here is 6 minus r. By assuming the value of r as 1, you can figure that particular thing out. And the greater term on the right hand side is 3. So by comparing 6 minus r is equal to 3, r is equal to 3. Okay. So this is the first few problems from exercise 12b, part 1 of the recording. The remaining problems we will do it sometime later. Okay. I hope all of you understood this.